Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Okay, we're going to talk about narcissism and false prophets. But before I start, first of all, I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel and leaving your wonderful comments. I read them and I really enjoy and appreciate you leaving those comments. I thank you so much. So now let's get into the topic. Narcissism and false prophets. Now, those of you who are Bible realize, that we could be in the last days. I mean, the Bible speaks about that in the last days. And false prophets. These false prophets are popping up everywhere. And they're not just in the big churches either. These false prophets are popping up, opening up little worship services in their homes, in their basements, in the garage, or wherever. Now, let me tell you something about this. A lot of these people, come from distorted backgrounds. A lot of them. Some of them were pimps. Some of them were scammers. Some of them were thieves. And all sorts of things. Now they decided that they're going to religion because in religion, they can make the same money legally. You need to be aware and beware of this, okay? Because every person that claims that they are a prophet is not a holy person. They're not a holy person. I see them, I've been to services where somebody stands up, they claim that they're either a prophet or a prophetess, and they stand up and they spout out these things, these messages to the congregation, claiming that these messages are coming directly from above, from God. That's what they're telling the people. And the people, they just eat it up. The thing about it is, every message that you hear is not a holy message. Every message that you hear is not holy. And you need to be aware of that. And everybody who proclaims that they are a prophet or a prophetess is not. A lot of them are just narcissists hiding behind that religion to dupe you. And a lot of people are being duped because of that. Now, the thing about them is that, they're shysters. And the thing is, it's hard for you to tell the difference a lot of times. Because they'll stand up and say, yeah, well, I was in sin. We're all, put everybody in the same boat. We're all in sin. And now I'm saved and now I have a message for you. Now listen, I'm not saying that a person cannot turn their lives around. I'm not saying that at all, because I know a person can. They decide that they don't want to do wrong anymore. They want to do good, the good for humanity. And all right, that's wonderful. But a lot of these false prophets are just in it for gain, for what they can gain from you. So they go run out and they take a few Bible classes, learn a few scriptures, and now they want to come and preach to you, give you a message. And I've been in some of these services with these people, and to me, it's comical. It is truly comical. Now, just to give you some background for the new viewers, I was raised in the church. I mean, I come from a generation a long generation of preachers in the church. So church, I know. Now, there was a time that I was involved with the church because, everybody wants to try it and, you want to believe and all of that. But in the church fell short for me. It fell short. It did not fill me with the goodness that I was looking for. So I left. I left the church. And then I started seeking the truth for myself. I looked into a lot of religions, went to a lot of services, different religions, to decide what was best for me. And then I found spirituality, because spirituality is between you and the universe. There is no middleman to tell you anything. You get your messages direct from above. And that worked for me. Now, these false prophets, they want you to get your message from them, because they want to be like the vicar between God, and they're the middleman between God and you. So they're there to preach to you and tell you what's right, what's wrong, what you should do. Now, a lot of these people have not changed from when they was on the street hustling. They haven't changed. They just picked up this Bible because religion is big business, very big business. They don't have to pay any taxes. They can get these buildings. They can get your money to build these fabulous temples and everything, you see? And you, what do you get? What do you get out of this? You get to go and be entertained. When you go there for your worship service, they have entertainment for you. Yeah, the choir is singing, the band is playing, and there's spirit all around. Spirit all around. Now, I want to say something about that spirit. Every spirit is not a Holy Spirit. It's not a Holy Spirit. If you are going to your service and your pastor or the leading people are narcissists, and remember, the narcissist is driven by an evil spirit. And the narcissist is all about self. And you can tell if you're a pastor or whoever you go to listen to about these scriptures. You can tell if they're all about themselves or if they're trying to help you. You see, the proof is in the pudding. No matter what they say, don't always go by what comes out of their mouth. Go by their deeds, what they actually do. You see, I've seen pastors, they'll go to your house when you're not paying your tithes. They'll come over there and bug you and make you feel bad because you're not paying enough at the church. That's a narcissistic tendency. That's a false prophet. A false prophet. Spirituality doesn't cost. It doesn't cost. The universe don't need your money. The universe has created everything. Everything, including your money. You see? But the false prophet makes you believe that your God needs money. He needs your money to he can't progress. He cannot expand unless he has your money. You understand? And your labor. Because a lot of these churches, they have you doing all sorts of things. You got to come to the church. You got to cut the grass. You got to direct the traffic. You got you got to clean the pews, make sure the church is. You understand? That's free labor. They got you working like crazy at the church, and you're doing it because you feel like you're going to be blessed. You're going to be blessed by all of these deeds. You see? But what about your soul? Is your soul being blessed by what the narcissist is giving back to you? People, when you go to your worship service, excuse me, I bid you to listen to what is really being said. Every time you go, listen to what is being said. And if you are going to a service and you don't understand what's being said, it's being said in Latin or whatever, and you don't understand any of it, but you just figure it's got to be coming from God. You are being deceived. You don't know what they're telling you, and you don't know what God they're worshiping either. People, the universe gave you your own brain, your own intuition. You see? Use it. Use it. Don't just give it over to people because they stand up and say that they're this or they're that. I'm a minister. I have a doctorate in theology. In theology. I have my PhD in theology. Let me tell you something. The universe doesn't care about your PhD or anything like that. The universe wants you to be happy in this life, to learn in this life, so your soul can ascend, to be good to people. You understand? To do things for for humanity. For humanity. A lot of religions and these false prophets teach you to judge other people. Judge other people because we are the ones that are telling you the right thing. This is the way to go. This is the way for you to go to your heavenly place if you go by what I'm telling you. No, the universe doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Everything that you need to know is inside you. It's already inside you. It's not outside of you. Outside of you. That's how these false prophets can come and take advantage of you at every turn. At every turn. And you don't realize it until you're hurt enough, and disgusted enough, and then you say, no, I'm going to walk away from that. I'm going to go over here to this church. And it could be the same thing. You could be trading one for the other. And I'm not saying that every religion is something wrong with it, and these people are false. I'm don't get me wrong. I am not saying that. But what I'm saying is that it's so many that are false. A lot of times it's hard to tell a difference. A lot of times it's hard to tell a difference. And unless you are grounded in your own spirituality, you can certainly fall victim to it. You can fall victim right away. You see, I tried the church. I really did. I really tried the church. Being raised in it and all generations, telling you whatever and whatever. I found it to be empty. I found it to be empty. And when I went into spirituality, which means you have a relationship with the divine. It's you and the divine. There's no middleman to tell you anything. Because the middleman is only telling you through his or her own perception. They could have their own perception, but they're telling you anyway. I went to a church one time. This fella spent the whole sermon telling about some TV show that he saw on TV. Talking about a TV show. It has nothing to do with spirituality. And people, when you leave the service, you may have enjoyed, being there, networking with your people who are like-minded, that sort of thing. But spiritually, have you grown spiritually? Do you know something that you didn't know before? See, the universe is ever expanding. Ever expanding. And there's always something that you can know to ascend. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. But a lot of these false prophets will come and deliver the same message over and over and over every Sunday, every other. So what they'll do is switch it up. Every third Sunday, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And I was raised Pentecostal. They say non-denominational, but it's very close to Pentecostal. And it tickled me because every revival that they had, the same people got to come back and get saved all over again. The same people. The same. Well, then that tell you right there that something is not working. Something is not working. Because once you go into spirituality and you understand what it is and what it can do for your soul, the betterment of your soul, you ain't got to keep coming back. you know, like they tell you, you backslid. you backslid. So now you got to go and get saved again. All of that is nonsense. These things are false. These are false. You know, and then there's people out here who believe that once they get baptized, they're already on their road to this better place. They already, listen. In spirituality, you already in the better place. Enjoy the life that you are given. Don't throw it away, believing in these false prophets that you suffer in this life, but when you go to the next place, you're going to be walking the streets of gold and all this kind of nonsense. That's false. That's false. That's false. Now, I know people get on me and say, well, you know, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Now, let me go back and tell you something about that Bible. Number one, I don't think that Jesus wrote anything in that Bible. And I don't think that God wrote anything in that Bible either. These are people who said that they were inspired by God to write these scriptures. So it's from their perception. It's from their perception of what God said to them to write these scriptures for you. Now, when Constantine got his hands on that Bible, he said, oh, this is the way we can control these people. And this is the way that we can conquer other nations with this Bible. See, that's a false prophet. You see, he went out and killed people who wanted to reject it. And even today, think about it. Even today, Christians will kill you if you don't comply with that Bible. They would, if you're in that family, they'll throw you out of the family. They threw me out. They threw me out. I didn't comply to the Bible. Once I tried it and it wasn't working for me and I denounced it, well, then I wasn't part of the family anymore. You understand? That's not holiness. I think the Bible says, judge not, that ye be not judged. Christians are the most judgmental people out here. Wars are because of the judgment. The judgment. And it all comes from the false prophet. The false prophet. Now people, because religion has become big business and people are feeling like, that they want to get in on it. You see? Why not? No taxes. They can buy their homes and cars and all of this under the umbrella of the religion. of the religion. You understand? And where did they get the supply to afford all these things? From you. From you. So they make you feel like your God needs it. You know, the Lord needs your money. It needs your everything. It needs your work, your compassion, your everything. He needs it. Believe me, the universe don't need it. You need the universe. The universe don't need you. You see? But a lot of these religions are teaching people something different. Teaching people something different. Now, why does your God need your money anyway? To build these big fancy temples so you can go into and marvel at? And marvel at? And you know, you don't have to take it from me. Just look around. Look around at these big buildings. A lot of these magnificent churches are right there where people are poor all around. Poor all around. They're not out there trying to help people. You can see it. Now I'm going to tell you something. I have seen some churches that do give back to the community. And I commend them. That's why I'm saying that all spiritual leaders are not narcissists, because narcissists do not give back anything. They're all about taking. They're not going to give you anything. They'll give you something, false hope. They'll give you prayer, or they'll give you a little book to read, or, something like that. But they're not giving you anything for your soul to grow, to know. You see? And people, we are all one. We're all one. Now, look at this. Look at this. A lot of these hate groups, hate groups, claim to be religious. They claim to be religious. And they're hating, killing, doing all sorts of things to people. They do it in the name of religion. That's wrong. You're being led by evil spirits. You're being led by the evil spirit. By demons. And I don't understand why people can't see that. Can't see that. Number one, stop judging people. Open your mind. Open your mind. Just because you were raised in a certain religion and somebody come and prophesies to you about, whatever. Whatever. You see, that doesn't give you the right to look down on other people thinking that you got the answer. You got the answer. And they don't. They don't know what they're talking about. 'Cause I got the answer. You see, we're all learning. We're all trying to be better people. But we need to beware of people who are out there to deceive us and take advantage of us and to destroy us in the process. You see? A lot of these false prophets, I kind of touched on it before. They'll start these little Bible classes, right? And wherever they can, in their homes or wherever they can. But see, the bottom line with all that is not that they care about you knowing anything about the Bible. The bottom line is they're looking for money. They're looking to get paid. They're looking for a second income. So they use the Bible for that. You understand? And it's the same thing with the church. It starts small, it gets big. More people come, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's about the money. They don't care less about you and your soul. Because that is the way that society is. This society is very narcissistic. It's about being competitive and about money. And you do whatever you need to do to get what you need. To get what you need. And it's from the people, from the gullible people. And the people who cannot defend themselves against it. Against it. Now, we've all heard about this thing, the one world order. They're trying to get everybody in one religion. Everybody in one religion. And just like they did before, they're going to be forcing it on people. See, anything that is good for you doesn't need to be forced. In fact, you see something that's good for you, you'll go to it. You don't need for anybody to beat you over the head with it. Beat you over the head with it. And it's what tickles me is a lot of folks who were driven into these religions. I mean, actually driven and forced, at gunpoint into these religions. They are the people that would turn around and judge everybody else. Oh, I know it now. I got it now. I got it now. And you were wrong. You wrong. See, they have taken on the narcissistic characteristics of the false prophet. In spirituality, we do things to help humanity, to help everybody to understand what life is all about. But in religion teaches you a certain way to live so that when you leave this life, you're going to go to a paradise somewhere. You're going to go to the paradise somewhere. Or if you don't do what the religion says, then you're going to go to a terrible place. There's no such thing in spirituality. There's no such thing. Spirituality is not based in any kind of fear. You don't fear. You don't fear that if you do this, then you're gonna be doomed. You make a mistake in life. You understand the mistake, and then you try to change it and do better. It's a learning thing. You do better. You see? But you ain't got to run off and plead to somebody and tell your pastor or whatever. You see? And go through all that. The middleman. Go tell the middleman, because he's the one that can go to the Most High and tell him all of your troubles, because you can't talk. You can't communicate yourself to him. You feel like you need him to tell him. No. The universe made you so you can directly speak to the universe. The universe speaks to you all the time. But many times you don't want to listen. It's not what you want to hear, because it's not giving you the benefit that you're looking for at that time. So you don't listen. You want to go somewhere else and find another. You want a second opinion. When the universe tells you something, many times you want a second opinion, because you don't want to trust your own intuition about things, your own guide. You'd rather for somebody else to tell you how to be in this life, your only life, this life right here. You know, when I was into religion, it was almost like, don't look for anything good in this life. You know, you may suffer in this life. The more suffering that you do, the better off you're going to be in the next life. That is nonsense. That's nonsense. So the narcissist, what he does, he tries to take advantage of it. Because remember, the narcissist is possessed with an evil spirit. So he's out to destroy you anyway. So he's misleading you in a way, the way you'll never find your spirituality. You'll never find it as long as you're following the narcissist down that dark, dark hole. That dark, dark hole. And I'm telling you, look at these people's works. Look how they do. You know, look how they treat people. And not all of them, but a lot of them. Too many of them are the same. It's pastors out here. You get ill and in the hospital, he won't even come see you. He don't care nothing about you. He won't send you a card. He won't come up there. He'll send somebody else to come up there because he's busy out on his yacht and stuff. He ain't got no time for you. On the golf course or something. And some of the sisters or some of the brothers will come around and they'll pray for you or whatever. But what about you? Pray for yourself. You don't need nobody to pray for you. You got a direct line to the universe. Pray for yourself. What's wrong with that? Why you need other people? Why you always looking for that outside influence to help you when you got the power inside you? Everything you need is already in. You came here with it. The universe provided you with it. All you got to do is to exercise it. Exercise your own power of belief in yourself. And that will protect you a lot from these false prophets and prophetess. Most of them are just scammers anyway. They do it because if they're not doing it for the offering, they're doing it for the popularity. For the popularity. They want to be known as the prophetess or the prophet. And as soon as the service happens, they'll be the ones that come up that want to put their hands on you and with the oil and all this kind of stuff. You don't know where these people are coming from. You don't know what kind of hole they crawled out of. And there you are in the service with these people that you believe are holy. That you believe are holy. And the crazy thing about it is, even when you find out that they've done devious things, you still forgive it. Because your God forgives. Like a brother told me, mercy and grace. Mercy and grace is what he said. So no matter what you do, there's mercy and grace. You can always be forgiven. And that's where the folly is. No. In the universe, there's a thing called karma. And whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever you think, is going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you. So, if you're out here judging people because you think your religion's all right, then you're going to be judged. And probably more harshly than you judging other people. That's not holy. That's not holy. You would do better to open your mind and your intuition, because if you're hearing something that is detrimental to your soul, your intuition will tell you. You'll get that gut feeling that didn't sit right with you. But if you're in a religious setting and that spirit is all around and you jumping and hollering and all, number one, you're not hearing what they're saying. And you don't know what spirit you're in either. Because if it's a lot of narcissists there, believe me, their spirit is there. You may be jumping around to an evil spirit and you don't know. You don't know. Because when you go in there, you're already emotional and ready to go. You already there, ready to have a good time. And I see him on there shouting and all of this. Come on, people. What spirit is that? What spirit are you in when you're doing that? And, like they say, you're speaking in tongues and all that. I know some people gonna get upset with me on this one. Make sure you in the right spirit. And don't be fooled, because false prophets, they speak in tongues too. All to fool you. All of it. The whole show is to take advantage of you. And you actually need to understand what's really going on out here. Don't be duped by these false prophets. Don't be duped by them at all. Anybody can go say, you know what? I'm going to start me a church. Anybody can say that. And then they can stand up and say, God called me to start this church. God called me. And then the people, they gullible. They run on off to him or her. Listen what they got to say. And then all they do is just read a scripture and then give you their perception of the scripture. Now, what prevents you from doing it yourself? You can't read? You would be wise to take control of your own spiritual life. Take control of it, your own spiritual life. And investigate other avenues. Don't be set just because you were raised in something. Doesn't mean it was right. Just because you were raised in a religion does not mean it was right. Do your own research. Read, study, meditate, or pray. Find out what the truth really is. The truth is what will set you free. The truth. And nothing but the truth. Not these people that give you a little bit of truth and a little bit of a lie. A little bit of a truth, a little bit of a lie. Just to suck you in. Just to suck you in. I think even that guy, Jim Jones, that took all them people down to Guyana or wherever, I think that was a religion. All of them dead. Because they believed in the false prophet. The false prophet. People, wake up, people. Wake up. Do not let these people guide you down a dark, dark path. A dark path. Look at it for yourself. Take back your power and quit giving it away to these people. Now, I hope that you understand this message, because these false prophets are taking advantage of you. They are taking advantage of you. And I just want you to be aware and open your eyes. Now, if you find a good spiritual leader and you trust them and they have given you a seed, a spiritual seed that can grow and blossom in your life, then you're good. Then you're good. It sounds like you could be on the right path. And you can tell it if your life is flourishing, if your life is abundant, without you deceiving people to get that abundance. Without you going out trying to scam people to get it. The universe blesses you with it. You understand? When you do good works, the universe blesses you with it. You see? But I see many people being deceived. And that's why I'm making this video, and I hope it reaches your intellect. I hope it reaches your intellect, not your emotion, because emotion, it gets you all confused. But your intellect, think, open your eyes, listen before you commit to these religions. All right? I think I'm going to end it here. And I hope I've said something that can help someone, because I do see people being destroyed, being totally destroyed by these false prophets in these religions. So, thank you again for viewing this video and supporting this channel. And keep those comments coming. I appreciate you. You don't know. I really, really appreciate your comments. So I wish you well, peace and harmony, and I really hope to see you next time.